Hello, we're the Digital Transformation team and we're here to talk you through the new prescribing features that have been brought in with the recently updated version of EPMA. Firstly, we will look at the upcoming changes to the nurse task list properties. In the previous nurse task list, you would have been able to see chronologically sorted administration tasks, with the latest administration tasks at the top of the list and the planned administrations further down. Here, a patient with multiple tasks would appear multiple times. In the new nurse task lists, you'll be able to see patient-grouped administration tasks, along with the number of administration tasks and each patient's individual status. Here, you'll see colour-coded icons to let you know your number of late, due and planned administration tasks. You can hover over these icons to see the status. You can see patient information here, such as name, date of birth, age, ID number and allergies. For more information on allergies, you can select the Known Allergies icon. In the updated nurse task list, you'll be able to utilise additional filters to sort administration tasks, for example, by medication type. By clicking the Filters button, you'll be able to see the options available. You'll also have direct access to the MAR chart via the nurse task list. You can click the View Tasks layer to see information of the chronologically sorted administration tasks, or click the MAR button to access the chart. The self-administration feature in EPMA has also been changed. The option to record administrations as automatically charted and charted by nurse have been removed. All self-administrations will now have to be verified and recorded by nursing staff, but you will only be able to record medications taken by the patient as self-administered. The system will no longer distinguish between automatically charted administrations and administrations charted by nurses. You can now enable the self-administration option for a prescription by clicking the prescription card menu. You'll need to confirm this on a pop-up and an icon will be displayed on the prescription card. Please note, self-administration will no longer be available for complex prescriptions. You can also disable self-administration by entering the prescription card. Users can mark the administration as self-admin on the administration window when recording the administration. When this is recorded, the prescription changes to self-admin for all future administrations. When recording administration for an already defined self-administered prescription, the self-admin administration result is automatically selected. You can now select whether the patient is pregnant and/or breastfeeding under the reference observations. The status must be updated with each hospitalisation. Pregnant and breastfeeding statuses are displayed in the patient data bar and on the printouts of the medication administration record. Overweight patients can be at risk of overdosing since the medication doses are calculated based on total body weight. In some cases, the ideal body weight is more fitting, so you can now enter ideal body weight functionalities. As part of the ideal body weight updates, the following functionalities have been added. You can now define a patient's weight as actual or estimated by selecting the relevant option. This information is then displayed in the patient data bar and on prescribing windows as actual weight, estimated weight, or weight. The system will automatically calculate the ideal body weight based on the patient's gender and height. This information will be displayed on the reference observations and prescribing window. If a patient's height or gender is not entered, then the system will not calculate the ideal weight. When meds are prescribed using the ideal body weight, the system will use an ideal weight as a reference to calculate the doses. You can now schedule reminders to review patient reference observations measurements and define time intervals for the reminders under reference observations. You must select a checkbox for the reminder and specify after how many days you want to be reminded to review the weight. A reminder for reviewing the patient's weight will appear in the patient data bar. Users can review the weight measurements or dismiss the reminder by clicking on the reminder icon. When you select Review for the reminder, the reference observation window will open again. Here you can review and make any necessary changes. Once you have done this and you close the window, the observations icon will disappear. If you dismiss the reminder, the icon to review observations is also removed from the bar. However, the reminder will appear when another user accesses the patient record, or the same user refreshes the screen. To resolve the reminder, the reference observations must be reviewed. There are a few ways you can access the administration's overview. You can left-click on a prescription card and select Administration Overview, or you can right-click on the visual cues and select Admin Overview here. You can access an administration's overview of all recorded and next planned administrations for a prescription. The administrations overview includes information about planned and recorded administrations. You can see details about each administration's date, time, and task status. You can see all administration events, either recorded or not, and if there are more administrations, you can click Show More and the next few administrations will be displayed. For long lists of administrations, you can jump to the top or the bottom of the screen whenever the scroll bar appears by clicking on the visual cues, such as More items are hidden below and More items are hidden above. You can view all unrecorded administration events under Planned Administrations, even though the planned administration time was in the past. All users are advised to record all administration events in real time. Previously, there was not a clear view of previous and next planned administrations when prescribing medications with intervals of every 2 or more days. With the new update, additional visual cues are added to the timeline to provide details of date, time, and status of the administration. The status is different for past and future administration events. Previous administration event status indicates what action was taken on that event. For example, given, late completion, early completion, deferred, or not given. Status for future administration events indicate the next planned administration. You can find single-dose prescriptions that have not been recorded by filtering the therapies in the MAR chart to all or choose date. Interaction with visual cues is enabled in a comparable way as with administration events. By left-clicking on visual cues, users can record administration, see administration detail, and access the audit trail in case the dose has already been given. Right-clicking the visual cues will open different menus or windows depending on the status of the administration. You can edit or cancel the administration by right-clicking on the visual cue if the previous dose was recorded. For example, given, not given, or deferred. You can now make changes to administrations by interacting with visual cues, even though the administration event is not present on the timeline. Prescribers can now add custom administration instructions when prescribing a medication. Administration instructions are displayed on the prescription card separately from the dose under Administration Instructions for clear visibility. The administration instructions are visible when opening an administration event for the prescription. The functionality enables clinical staff to mark whether they have checked the additional instructions and took the instructions into account when administering the medication. Marking of administration instructions is mandatory. Clinical staff can mark the administration instruction as yes, no, not checked, given, deferred, and not given. You will now be able to select a site of administration from the drop-down menu in the administration window for prescriptions with intravenous and intramuscular routes of administration. When the administration is being recorded, you can see the last recorded site of administration, as well as information about the administration site in administration details. The one-day PDF report of the medication administration record has been updated. These updates are as follows. Firstly, the prescription status for stopped and suspended prescriptions will be clearly marked. PRN prescriptions will be differentiated and distinguished from regular prescriptions, and administration times for prescriptions with dosing intervals of 2, 3 or 4 times, etc. will be displayed.